All Things Cinema podcast who are watching us right now or who will watch in the future. This is me, Keshav from All Things Cinema, joined by Nona Prince and Ashmita from I
Hello.
Just React and Review, and now also I Just Overreact to Music.
वो भी
uh,
स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ है चैनल
yeah, but I think
सून
it's
नेक्स्ट
next
वीक
week, so congrats on that. And this is kind of like our quarterly meeting. I think the first time we all three got together was around in Jan for Minnal Murli. Then in May we got together for Vikram, and now in August end we are getting together for the third time. So which
Quarterly
is
meetup.
yeah,
यस
which is nice to have you both here. Of course, you both are busier than me with your respective channels. Yeah, because I was not really active for the last few days on my channel because of my music work, and I thought if I
राइट
have to make a proper comeback, it has to be the three of us coming back together. So
कम बैक
uh, yeah, I mean, now I've got a little free. Like I've finished a couple of projects, and I thought, let me get back to this in a proper way. So yeah, so here we are. It's a very burning topic, you could say, or it's talk of the town. What's been happening lately? There's so much has happened, since we last talked, and how Bollywood has been going for the last few months, and how South has made some great strides this year, especially. So I thought it only makes sense to get deeper into this topic, which everybody wants to hear, and everybody has a theory about it on their own as well.
या
So the first comment is here. JRK says hello, and as always, reaction reviews have started. Requests
guys
have started
don't do
coming.
that please no I'm not gonna like this is we shouldn't entertain these
No, I mean, but this is
I know Cobra trailer is out guys please but you don't have to like this is a separate discussion comment on my video and I've already reacted to it I'll the video will be up tomorrow
okay. Uh, is this like a parallel universe? No, ना हमें comment भी कर रहे हैं वहाँ से और यहाँ पे बैठे भी
I'll
हैं.
be
मैं
I'll
भी
be
करूँ
active
क्या
in the chat.
Is this like दोबारा happening in your life? In some other life, you're not in this stream.
एक मिनट मैं एक और आईडी से करता हूँ.
Okay. Okay. So let's start with the first question I want to ask you guys. Is this debate valid at all? I mean, should this debate be happening at all? These comparisons and how South films have made more money and how Bollywood has been like a victim of boycott trends and also the मतलब अपने पैरों पे खुद भी कुल्हाड़ी मारी है by making the shitty remakes, and even when they make originals like once in a blue moon a good movie would come, but other than that they don't really have a lot to show this year as well. So let me start with Ashmita. Like, should this
yeah
debate be happening?
I don't think the debate of Hindi cinema versus cinema from South Indian industries collectively should not be happening. It should be the debate of what kind of movies are getting made in different industries. And now, of course, everybody likes the one versus the other because it creates more drama. So that's why this has become this whole debate that okay, it's Bollywood versus the South Indian film industry. So people are having their own moments, their own opinion. But I feel that whenever a good movie comes out, people are going to flock to the theaters, irrespective of whichever industry the movie is releasing from, and they're going to watch and spend their money. And I would say that now, of course, uh, people have become a little more conscious about where to spend their money. Like if because they know, like even I know for a fact, I have experienced this firsthand, where mom and dad they're like, "Ha, we don't want to watch it. जब OTT पे आ जाएगा, we'll watch it then. We'll come within 1 month or 2 months. It's okay. We can wait for that time." So they have this thing in their mind that should we go spend our money in the theaters, irrespective of the fact that the movie is going to come out in an OTT platform 2 months later, because everybody has access to various accounts now. So if the movie has to be that intriguing and that exciting for us to spend our money and go to the theaters, knowing that even after 1 month we can watch this movie
Yeah.
in OTT. So I think this debate that one versus the other, it should not happen. It should be that, okay, when is Bollywood going to come out with good movies, so that this whole boycott trend is, gone. Okay, if the movie is bad, no need to trend boycott for anything. People are not gonna go.
Yeah. No, that stands correct. But uh, in general, it should not be happening. But
Yeah,
why it's happening? There has to be a reason behind it. I mean, it's it's like a cliche, but cliches exist for a reason as well. So,
yeah,
uh, so Nona, like how Ashmita put it up really well, but you have to look at analytics as well. You have to look at the box office numbers. Plus, not just that, you have to look at how the films were actually, that were made in Bollywood this year, and a lot of remakes from South films which we had seen before, them getting remade. This time, even a Hollywood film getting remade, which everybody had seen before. So, is lack of originality also another big reason why people are going towards Malayalam and Tamil cinema and the likes more than Bollywood now?
Talking about statistics, I just checking my video on best film so far till
Okay.
first 6 months, and I just went to that list again, and there was one Malayalam film in it, two Kannada films, one Telugu film, two Hollywood films, and three Bollywood films. These were Loop Lapeta, Gangubai, and Badai Do, which are
Okay.
three are one of my favorite films. One is a remake, one is a kind of a spiritual sequel, and
hmm.
one is a Bansali film. All three were very well made films. Even if a remake, it was a great adaptation of that original film in Indian context, right? So the good films, they were really well made films. Now coming to the other part, like Triple R was a highly anticipated film for a long time. It's Rajamouli, he has a brand name and he delivered.
Hmm.
KGF had a big hype around it. So
Right,
these are the only two films which has done extraordinary business one
right.
month after the other. And that has just suddenly became like, oh, South films are doing so much money,
Mm.
making so much money. It's the time they came out, 50% everything was removed, theaters were fully open. When Gangubai came, they were still 50% occupancy. There's a big thing no one talks about, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Bollywood, what they did, the remakes, Bachchan Pandey came out in March, was horrible film, it didn't work. Prithviraj, big budget film, there was no effort put in,
Right,
didn't work. Shamshera, again, it's a 5 years late film. It should have, if it had come 5 years back, people would have loved it. It's just
right.
too late.
I agree.
It didn't work. Lal Singh Chadda, many people have not seen Forrest Gump. Like we feel like Forrest Gump is a popular film, but in India, not many people know unless this was announced and boycott happened and people got to know there's a film called Forrest Gump. And many people have not seen it, and the negativity did play a part. But the film also was not, outstanding that people will flock in the theaters.
Yeah.
There is, something going in the country. There's not in people don't have that luxury money to spend so much every week they'll go for a movie, and
Yeah,
because of the pandemic, movies are coming out every week and you cannot
Mm.
watch everything.
right.
A Bhool Bhulaiya, even when it was on Netflix, it was houseful in theaters.
Yeah,
People will
Yeah.
go for a movie they want to watch. It was a sequel, it was spiritual sequel, it worked for people. So the whole debate that only Bollywood is making bad films is not true.
Of
We had
course.
Radhe Sham, big disaster.
yeah.
We had Acharya, big star. Only he would have got so much money, but big disaster. People don't
Bali,
like it.
that was a
You know,
disaster.
Again, so even South is not giving great films. Only because of Triple R KGF, the hype is so much that they are doing tremendous business. And then came Vikram, again a passion project, been in making for long time with a very credible filmmaker. So only these three films really stand out. In the market,
Mm.
every film, every industry is not doing well, and the only thing is the negativity is so much on Bollywood that it feels like only Bollywood is making bad films.
I think
Recently, Article 15 was remade in Tamil, which did well.
I think more than bad films, it's as I asked you about originality. Like where is the originality going? I mean, I'm sure there is talent. People are having original ideas, but is it the production houses who don't want to take a risk on something new, and they have a hit formula already, so they're like, let's take the story and just give it to north audience, something from south. So and that happens in music as well all the time, just making old remakes or something like that. So I just feel that is one of the important factors why Bollywood is falling behind South in this race, if there was any. That where are the original ideas going?
Hmm.
See that I would say that it's always has been that Bollywood relies a lot on remakes, and what has happened is that the pandemic has changed a lot.
Yeah.
The audience viewing experience. They are known that there's a great films in South, and they're watching it now. South is dubbing their films and putting it out, even on if it's a direct OTT release. The what happened like a Bachchan Pandey, right? They announced the film 2 years back, which they have no idea what will happen. It's not like within 2 months they made the film and it's out.
Hmm.
So whatever we are seeing now is what has been happening for 2 3 years, and now the industry is realizing this is not gonna work.
Right.
I think so many films are now put on hold because producers have no idea what's how audience will react to it. So
Yeah.
now they are the originality thing has always been an issue, and I think recently Anurag Kashyap even talked about it that the industry is afraid what films they can make and what, because when you make an original film there's a lot of risk involved, and then to reduce that risk you need to get a big star, but the money get divided, and it's get convoluted, the main originality get convoluted because you have to cater to the star also. And
Mhm.
Correct.
now it's changing. I think in a way boycott even helps, because it's attacking the industry and making it change things which are not good. Even I think South, I think the producers stopped making films in Telugu, that they have to talk with the producers, everyone, and have to talk about the actor fees, because that's just rising, and the
Yeah, the
box office
actor
is
fees
going
is
down.
becoming a really hot topic now. That
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
Like,
what was that episode where was it producers adda for in
yeah, yeah,
Pritam Package,
yeah.
where Karan Johar particularly said the actor fee issue was raised by so many of the producers. Also, I think he said that we really need to get good writers. I think he also focused on writer, but now he gave a movie like Liger, which
No, but Liger again was, and it was
in the
Puri
works.
Jagannath.
I think
It
three
was
years. I think
Puri Jagannath has given a I Smart Shankar was a horrible film, but it was done really well. So he cannot question someone like that, right? Like in
hmm.
writing, in terms of writing, at
Uh,
least his own like recently Rakashab said a wonderful thing that he hired his biggest critic, the Karan Johar, to
hmm.
run his OTT division,
Hmm.
and that guy is hiring newcomers, outsiders to make films and shows and all under dramatic. So Karan Johar
That was
is actually doing what he's saying, but the thing is, what's coming out right now, it's all have been in
it's
pipeline
all
for a
which
long
was
time.
pending.
Even
Yeah,
Brahmastra, I mean, that's been in the
yeah.
making for
That's
10
like 10
years.
years.
Yeah. And like let me just
You're
boast a
doing
little
music,
bit.
right?
And I'm not doing music for it. First of all, if that was the case, I would not be sitting here right now to be busy with completing the music which Preetham is doing. I'm working for Preetham on Brahmastra in the background score, choir, and
Yeah.
vocals and everything. So I've seen bits and pieces of visuals, and it's very much Marvel inspired, I would say. But it's something that you would not have seen in Bollywood before as well. I mean, I can vouch for the music for sure. It is very very orchestral and very Hollywoodish, if I may use that term. But the footage I've seen, like it was also not like the final footage. There was a lot of VFX stuff left to do. So you can see, right, even after
Yeah.
10 years, like the film is just 2 weeks away and still the work is left. So but anyway, coming back to the topic, like as I said about the originality, because that sort of was the case with Lal Singh Chadda also. In my review, I said maybe Amir Khan would have felt that this is a story which should be told to Indian audiences if we Indianize it enough. Because, as Nona pointed out, there's not a lot of people in India who would have seen Forrest Gump, a film from '94, we are a country of 130 crore people. So even if like 1% would have seen it, that's 1 crore. So so
I'll tell you one thing.
yeah,
Netflix, since Laughing Jetta was trending, it has putting out Forrest Gump. Watch this, watch this, watch this.
Yeah,
Every
Forrest
time I
Gump was
open Netflix,
trending.
yeah. Every time I
Yes.
open Netflix, just watch Forrest Gump. Watch Forrest Gump.
yeah, yeah. So like I want to know from you guys as well. Like we were planning to do a Lal Singh Chadda podcast, but time didn't allow us. But what was what do you think where it failed? Because that was supposed to be one of the milestone films for Bollywood this year in terms of box office numbers or Amir Khan coming back after 4 years, and a lot of expectations were there. It didn't meet exactly them because
Yeah.
of course many reasons. Boycott is a big one of them,
Yeah.
and then a lot of different reasons. But what were your first thoughts, and are you surprised by how it has gone down so far, or you expected this?
Like, I personally did not like the movie, to be very honest. I
Hmm.
mean, for me, it was Amir Khan's acting only which was irritating me, to be very, very honest. And I was like, why is he acting
throughout
like this?
throughout it was irritating,
I
or
think
that
at
that
the
middle
last,
part?
no, the last scene was fine where he
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
mourning for Ruby and he's crying. That's where I was a little bit emotional. But other than that, I was not able to connect to the character at all. And it also has to do with, I don't know, see, because the young boy who played, young Lal Singh Chadda, that kid, if you see the way his mannerisms were and
Yeah.
how Amir's mannerisms were, they were not matching for me. Because, yes, it's said that he had low IQ, apparently, but he was not dumb. I didn't think like the kid was dumb. Like, he understood what his mother was. He was
And
good at following instructions. And
even if he was, sorry for cutting you, even if he was, why would a dumb and incompetent guy get into Indian army? That
he
also doesn't make sense.
it doesn't make sense. So he was probably not good at studies and stuff. But and I think it also has to do with, maybe there's a bias in my head, because currently I'm watching two series parallelly, which the main leads are autistic. One
Okay.
is the Korean series, which is the Extraordinary Attorney Woo, where the main attorney is autistic, and the second is The Good Doctor, which is also adapted from a Korean drama. Where I'm seeing that these guys, and I've read a lot of comments about their acting, particularly how they are representing the autistic character, where a lot of people have said that the way they are playing those character, yes, that's how an autistic person behaves and talks with Amir Khan. And I think because I'm watching this series and I'm watching them act, their roles, Amir's was just too extreme for me.
Mm.
And that's why I probably did not enjoy it as much. Yeah.
But Nona, like since you are a Sikh person, so I am a Punjabi as well. So I just lost it with his Punjabi and that accent he had, and the the attempt to blend Hindi and Punjabi with some twadas and sadas and all those kind of words. So that was so much off-putting, coupled with what Ashmita pointed out, his performance, especially in that teenage years. Like suddenly he becomes this person when he looked normal in the childhood. So apart from these reasons, did you feel any other flaws in the film?
See, I think I have very different opinion about the film.
Okay.
And also, I don't think they say he's autistic. I don't think that's the
It's just
thing about
said
him,
that it's low IQ.
because
That's
even
all.
Forrest is not autistic. It's just he has low IQ.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Like, see, the thing is, whatever he is or he's not, it's always be like, oh, I've never seen that. I don't see the persons are like that. There's always be someone saying that's not how you can portray it, right?
Hmm.
Maybe there's someone who acts like him. For them, they're like, arey, very nice. This is what it's like, right? So we can never really pinpoint how it should be done and how it should not be done.
Yeah.
No, but there has
Now,
to be certain characteristics to the person. If the guy is really the extreme, autism, then he's not supposed to, like, nobody is going to select him in the army. There has to
see,
be some logic in the
coming to that,
storytelling, Nona. There
I
has to be
made a
some logic.
I made a
I
video
was
about it
like,
also. For see what I said, that also, first of all, autism is not mentioned. Second of all, it's around Kargil, which is 90s. That time, that these terms were not like a known thing. talking about army, we see that, he when he's doing the, all the things in army, he's very good at it. And he says it also because it's very clear, things he's told, do this, and he does that. Because he's very, it's not easy for him to understand a lot of things in our real life. Like, people say something, they mean something, right? I think in PK we kind of noticed this, right? When he, as an alien, he doesn't understand complex directions. Whereas in army, it's just one thing: assemble the gun, that's it, he's done. And that's what they're trying to share, that it's not that he's dumb, he doesn't know what to do, what is life, and how to do certain things. It's that if you give him direct, instructions, very clear instructions,
Hmm.
and it's very easy for him to understand, he does that. And we see that in the army, he does everything perfectly, because he says he enjoys being in the army because it's very easy to understand what's
But
happening.
but let me just do a counter there. Like, of course, I take your point, but how unaware you have to be of the fact that you're actually saving a guy from opposition and bringing
See,
bringing
see,
him on your
it's
shoulder.
see,
And then
it's the
it just doesn't end there. That guy's roaming around the whole country, and he's on India
That
Today
was
page, and
that was
then
fascinating.
so easily he goes back to Pakistan also. So those
okay.
things.
That Pakistan thing was, when he goes back, was kind of, for me. But my point was, there was a scene, we while the movie was happening, they mentioned this very particular. I'm like, why are you mentioning this? That there was a guy who took them to that place where terrorists were hiding.
Yeah.
So that, they said some tribes people, they took us to that position. So I thought, why are you mentioning it particularly, that this tribe person? So my understanding is that, when first of all, Indian army, when they show up there, no one has survived, right? We understood that. Only Lal and the people he saved, and they are all, semi conscious, unconscious kind of a thing. And they would assume, of course, our person will not save the enemy. So
Mm.
he's just a ordinary people
I
who
don't
came
know.
here to kind of
Feels
see. I
convenient
can
writing to me.
see again, it's kind of a movie logic. Of course, it could have been a better explained, but my point is, I'm thinking what they're trying to say from that, about him leaving from there. Again, it's not, they are not assuming. We know he's a terrorist, we know he's the enemy. People, they don't know, he just left. Maybe he was with family, just left, we have no idea. They are not thinking he's a terrorist to lose
No,
around the country. We are thinking that, because we know the,
I don't
the
think
details.
like
No, but the government knows, right? The army knows, then the concerned authorities know. How can they just let him roam completely free around the country like that?
No, that's what I'm saying, right? There's a dialogue where, when he's missing, when, Lal is, I think he's seeing someone tying a turban, and that time an officer says, "And where is that guy? We don't have any details about him." So that's what I'm saying. That they don't know that he's a terrorist.
I
They're
don't
like,
know.
okay, he was a local man, maybe he left.
Convenient writing. This is the
S-
reason. So see, like there's always going to be a counter, and that's why I feel a lot of people now have lost hope from Hindi cinema in terms of their writing. Because now I think because people have been exposed to so much content from other industries also, they probably see some logic that the story is following XYZ logic, and this is how a storytelling is supposed to be. And
Even that was the case with Dobara as well. Like, of course, it's also a remake of
I've not watched it, so I don't know.
Mirage. So at the end, very conveniently, just Kangana, sorry,
Tough.
तापसी would say, यार मुझे ये time travel वगैरह ये parallel universe वगैरह मेरे समझ में नहीं आता. That was, and literally in the interval I heard two girls speaking, यार कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है क्या film. So it was like, and when Tapsi says that in the film, I felt like this is like a good throwback to that. Uh, but there's an interesting comment from Vinoy George. He says Bollywood was always inferior to South cinema when it comes to content and quality. Hindi audiences are just evolving and realizing they were getting shit movies just now.
Wow, very interesting.
This is, I think, it's partly I would agree to it because I believe right now, like probably Malayalam industry is the most innovative and fearless industry. I would say the kind of films they make and the kind of issues they address upon. So probably because of exposure to such quality of cinema over the years, probably going by his comment, the Malayali audience is a little more, I would say, grown up in terms of if you compare them with Bollywood audiences who are getting exposed to South Indian cinema now in the last couple of years, if you will, since the pandemic happened. So, to what degree do you guys agree to this comment?
I don't know. Like, I feel that right now, in terms of content, I think yes, Bollywood has been like Hindi cinema has followed a similar kind of formula. If you just take, say, Karan Johar films or Aditya Chopra films, you know in your head that okay, it follows a set pattern. The storyline, you know the beats of the story. It was just how they were presented to us in a different way. And of course, there's this star power, and we used to just go and see the beautiful Switzerland and all of that. It was Bollywood initially for me. I would say it was like something that people aspired to be like. Oh, they are living that kind of life, they are living this kind of life, this and that. I think that stardom factor has shattered now. And with that, and also in addition to that, the exposure to OTT content, not just from our country also. First it was only Bollywood and Hollywood. Now people are watching content from literally across the world. It's accessible to all of us. So that exposure, with that, people are thinking, यार यही मिलता था हमको, हम तो इसी में खुश हो जाते थे. Like, we want more. And I think the kind of amount, the budget the Bollywood films have, now people have, I think, that started thinking, if a movie, say like Kartikeya 2, can be made in 15 crores, why Bollywood is spending 200, 300 crores in a film which is not even good? So I think that's why people have started questioning, and in a way, I feel it's good. But what's funny to me is how recently the actors have started responding to this boycott thing. Is that we have to come together and do something about the audience and this and that. I'm like, what? Like,
Yeah, they are
admit
right.
that you are making shitty content.
Plus, what they can actually do is reduce their fees so that the budgets go
Yeah,
down.
reduce your fees. Give more to writers.
I recently, I think someone said it where I heard it, that when you start accepting mediocrity, mediocrity becomes excellence. You know, and my most watched video on my channel is a video I made on why Malayalam cinema is so ahead in their content, is because their audience will not accept mediocrity. A Kadua is doing well, but that's not what they want every week. If you
Yeah,
make shit films, they're gonna tell you that shit films. So it's all audience actually dictates how the films are being made. And
that's
today, as Chechi said, right, that people are exposed to OTT, exposed to all films now, because again the pipeline thing. What Bollywood has become is that people in power, people, the businessmen who's earning money, who are the kind of gatekeepers also, who are
true.
dictating what to do, the trade analyst and everything. They are losing everything because of OTT first of all, and then everything they thought would be work is not working.
Right,
And it's just everything's going off. That's a big reason Bollywood is facing right now, and that will actually encourage people with creative freedom
right,
being in that power position.
right.
I think recently that Ovumania panel they did, Amazon's head is content head is a woman, and listening to her I understood why Amazon is doing so well.
Hmm.
It's very easy just hearing her thoughts. What's happening to my light? Okay, is it just me or
No, it was your light.
okay? So yeah, basically Bollywood has to now change things. People have the power has to shift. Kind of reminds me
Yeah,
of
in
what's
terms of
happening with
changing
DC.
things, like I am okay with them giving their cookie cut formula. That's also fine. But I think if it's only that, then it's a problem. There has to be variety of content. Like, yes, we want to see a realistic thriller film also. We want to see like a massive film also where people can whistle. That also we want. Why does Rohit Shetty films work? Because they give you that experience that we know that when we are walking into the theaters, we're just gonna see cars flying, we're gonna get the over the top sequences, action sequences, and we're going to enjoy it. But there would be some little basic storyline, and he's going to direct it well with his own formula. We want those stories also. We want like a very grounded, rooted story also. I mean, I was personally very sad when a film like Jhund did not work. because I thought it was a great story, very well said. But yeah, that's what. So we have, content that a lot of directors, different directors can give us, and I think that is
I
a good
I did
mix
have some
is.
issues with June, but okay.
ठीक है,
Like
but it
I
was
see,
good
I
at it.
see. See, I'll say this: in every film that has not, apart from Badai though,
Hmm.
every film that has not worked at box office, there's a issue. Even with Lal Singh Chadda, it's too slow. It's just too slow for
So
today's
it's
audience.
he's
That's it.
slow.
It's
It's slow. He's
emotional,
slow.
as you said, right? I'll say we are very emotional beings in India.
Hmm.
If the scene we were talking about, if it was very emotionally invested, we wouldn't actually have asked for these logics. But because you're not emotionally attached to anything, you're asking, "Arey, how can these things happen?"
No,
Same.
but
So
You
then
know,
same thing happened with Jhund with me. Like I really felt connected to all the characters there because the
but
first half they
know,
set it up really well.
they
It,
set it up as a sports drama,
yeah.
and I actually like that they flip it in the second half.
Hmm.
But I went with my family, and they're like, "What is this nonsense?"
No,
We thought they'll go and play football. That's what we wanted, and everyone around me was talking this. I
uh,
understood that that's the issue. People were expecting something else, and you gave us something else which they didn't like it. So
okay. No,
it
I
just
found
no,
the movie to be good. So I feel there needs to be a mix of everything. Like yes, a film like KGF 2 has done wonders because the first one had so much hype and the second one also delivered. We want that massy commercial film, but we want other films like a film like Malayan Konna. We want a movie like that also. I think if audience is given exposure to different content, they'll be open to literally every kind of content, and then they can decide, okay, this movie was crap, this was good, I was entertained in this, I was not entertained
no,
in
but see, also, I don't think how much a movie makes should necessarily decide if it worked or not, if it's a good movie or not, because there have been so many instances where a good movie also doesn't even break even, but it's a good movie at the end of the day. Maybe later it's find a cult following, or critics like it and the audiences don't like it. So I don't think numbers should be like a yardstick for that. Even somebody commented right now that Malayan Kunj made only 8 crore in Kerala, and KGF 2 made some 60 crore in Kerala. So how do you say Mallus are progressive? That was the comment.
see,
it. Well,
if we come see cinema, right? Even even Hollywood, what is working is commercial films. The art house films or the amazing films of the year, the Oscar ones, are not making 100, 200, 1 billion
Yeah.
rupees. You know, see, it's same there, it's same here. Those films will never make that money. It's always these big, commercial films,
Mm.
family drama films, gangs, whatever. The big films will always make the most money. And see, if you take 10 filmmakers working today, or 10 films coming out, three are made out of pure passion for filmmaking. You
hmm,
know, four are made out of semi, okay, we are making a film, but we want to earn money. And the remaining is just to make money. It's
money,
just pure
right.
business. They don't care about anything. They'll just use statistics to make a film and they hope it works.
Yeah.
Which will be impact, which OTT is helping is the three films which are just totally passion, they are going to OTT.
Mm.
And it's
So
finding its audience over there
yeah,
and getting
and
appreciated.
that's impacting the theaters because theaters, right? They have a big film, but they also want a small film next to it so they can fill other this
Yeah,
also theaters also. If there's big film coming out like Liger came out, if it doesn't work, they don't have anything else to show. Before they would have a few other smaller budget films which will work and people will still come to theaters.
No,
But
right.
now
I mean,
it's all dry.
even
It's just
last week, like Dobara came, it was not a big budget film, but it also probably, because of the
it got
content.
very less screens also. But
Yeah.
this was working, right?
uh,
Which was
until Nona thinks, let me just plug in a little bit. 100 people are watching us right now. If you have come for
hit
the
that like
first
button.
time to this channel, also hit the subscribe button. I was two away from 5,000 before this began, so two people can just.
Hopefully.
so
Let me refresh.
so yeah, welcome to All Things Cinema podcast, guys. But this comment. So Vijay says, in my opinion, people go to theaters to escape from reality. That's the reason why mass movies work, even if they are half baked. I mean, every movie is an escape from reality. If you're comparing, very very fictional mass films with films rooted to reality, I mean, every film is an escape, right? You unless that cricketer herself is watching Shabash Mithu herself. That's the only exception. But otherwise, whatever movie you watch, that's not happened with you. It's a different world altogether. So it is an escape from reality.
Yeah.
Uh, Mood
Okay,
Kya
No,
interesting.
says,
but I think
Yeah.
what he meant was that a lot of people, they don't want to, because there's so much stress anyways in real life, that when they are watching these massy films, they want it to be a little bit light-hearted, and just, just the goody stuff that is shown, a little bit
how
of conflict,
how
and then
how
you feel
was
good.
how was KGF 2 light-hearted? It's
It
not
was not.
light-hearted,
It was
but
not. It but
No, but
it's a
it
mass film.
but
it
it's a
it
mass film
follows
if you're
that.
the hero.
No, it follows that one underprivileged guy fighting against all odds and getting to that power. That whole dialogue about nepotism.
Hmm.
You are sold there as a person, right? The mother emotion is a hit emotion every time.
Right.
To live up to your mother's last words,
Birds.
that itself sold it. I'm
And
with this
that's how
guy.
the movie was marketed, like from the get go. Like the promise was made, and the promise
Yeah.
will be, fulfilled.
The biggest win for that is that they stick to it. It doesn't become just Yash and Yash doing anything. It's about his character doing what has to be done. Nothing else matters. So I
Yeah.
think that's why it hits with connects with people, because see, how it all started was Angry Young Man. People at that time were pissed off with the authorities, everyone, the businessmen, the politicians. And what it did, they brought a hero who kicked their asses in cinema, that and at least on big screen they could see that and enjoy and feel happy, at least for the 2 hours. That's how it
Yeah,
all
so
started. And now the more our life becomes more complicated and more cynical and all, that's more what we want from a cinema.
yeah, I
Hmm.
mean,
Good guy kicking the bad guy's
so
butt.
basically, a classic underdog story, right? Just rooting
Yeah.
for him, and by the end he wins. I get that, but like a movie like Vikram, again, it's a mass movie, but it's a very dark movie. And there, though, you are not even rooting for one person. Somebody will be rooting for Kamal Hassan, somebody will be rooting for a Fahad Fasil. So I think for different people, escape from reality can also have different definitions. Like I can escape from reality with a aankhon dekhi, or with a uh, very art slow film as well. But for that comment, whomsoever made that comment, it could differ as well. Uh, Let me take
take
this.
take that comment by mood kiya hai, the older one.
Yeah, he said
I'll
that.
take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Uh,
I'm a commercial audience, but KGF 2 was just worst. By the way, I want to ask, did all cinema podcast change his view about RRR? I want to know this.
so my initial response to RRR was not good when I watched it. Uh, I just didn't find it that good as a film. Like I found it path breaking in terms of visuals. The whole cinematic experience and the special effects and everything. That's absolutely state of the art and something India should be proud of. But in terms of storytelling, I just felt it was very outdated, and ultimately, that's what people want. Maybe they were maybe missing those kind of movies, and that's why films like Pushpa or KGF and these RRR, they have worked because they have that very 90s and 80s sort of vibe to them. So no, my opinion on the film or the story has not changed, but RRR, it's definitely a visual spectacle. Nobody can deny that.
So if it gets sent to, if it's the official entry for Oscars, you'll be like, why? Huh? You'll not be very happy.
If it gets sent for like, I mean, if if it would win any award anywhere in the world based on the special effects or all these kind of things, I would be happy. But in terms of best film or best story or anything, I would mind that actually.
Okay.
I'm opposite.
I'm also
They
opposite.
apart from
Because it has a good
practicality,
chance. I
apart
feel.
from practicality, that it right now it has the best chance from India.
Hmm.
Even if that was not the case, like I would have said RRR, because I feel it's a cinematic brilliance. These kind of films don't really, I think, what how we see it, like, oh, it's a commercial film, they are just flying and all of that, but there's a lot of hard work, a lot of art, a lot of craft has gone behind making a film like that. It's not like anyone can make it, you know, or it's not
Yeah,
like
you see
just
the
they are
frames.
flying. Just the
Yeah.
visual spectacle is what it's making. No, it's the emotion, it's the screenplay behind that visual spectacle that makes you say wow.
Yeah, the
So
like for me also, like the visual spectacle has a meaning. It's not there
yeah,
just for the heck of it. That's why I like the film.
No, no, of course. I mean, I didn't say I dislike the film or something like. I didn't hate the film or something like that. I just had my issues with the storyline. I just had my issues with some of the things which didn't really sit well with me. Like, uh, somebody just commented in India when Marvel movies do wonders, people accept it. I mean, that was one of the points I made in my review, that when Marvel does superhero stuff, at least they have a backstory for how those people got those superpowers, right? Here, one guy just taking care of 1,000 people around him without any explanation or without any superpower, supernatural powers. That was like a little too much for me. So I come from that
Ah,
school of thought.
understandable. No, but there are a lot of skeptics of RRR in
Yeah,
India, so don't
of
worry.
course, of
Like you're
course.
not the only one. It's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
People have mixed opinions for RRR.
Yeah, let's we are like around the end of the stream now. So, which has been your favorite Indian film of the year so far across language? Like like the one film if you had to pick.
Oh, okay.
it's hard, man, to choose one.
Yeah, like
That's why you're not here to
important.
answer easy questions, Nona, please.
You say yours, which is
I,
your
I
that one film.
I'll
I
I'll 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 choose like this. The film I've seen the most till now. Seven
yeah,
times RRR.
7 times. Wow, man.
Three times
You
in
watched it
theaters.
7 times?
Yeah. I've like watched like people I look like, Adam and all, right? Hector and all.
Yeah,
So I
yeah, yeah.
subscribed to their Patreon and they reacted to the whole film. So I watched it again with them.
Ah, okay,
So
okay.
like that total seven times, and all the reactions I've seen for the film more than 15 times then.
Oh God.
I okay. I want to say, but it did not come out in 2022. It
The
came.
chat is saying Vikram. Which
I
one?
have two movies actually. I have Vikram and I have, but Minnal Murli did not come this year. Technically, it was end of last
Yeah,
year,
last year. Minnal
but
Murli, okay.
I would still choose Minnal Murli. These two.
I would choose Malyan Kunj. I just call it recency biasness, or call it my fandom for Fahad Fasil. But I just enjoyed that film, and I watched it in theater. Like I talked to Nona as well. He missed it because there were no subtitles, so he recently watched it. But again, for me, I had said this in my review as well. For me, watching in theater, that film was more engaging than KGF and RRR, because somehow I was more invested in that world that they created, and uh, the second half, especially how it was all
Hmm.
done in that landslide. And for me, this was my favorite Indian film of the year. And if I had to choose, I don't even have a Hindi film probably in even my top five best favorite
Yes.
Indian films of the
My,
year.
my Hindi will be Badai though. It's easily my favorite of the year.
Mine, nothing to be very honest. It's all Malayalam. I feel it's like
Gangubai.
Janaganamana is there, uh, Vikram is
You didn't
there.
like Gangubai?
I found it, but I wouldn't say top five. Top 10
Jhund?
में Gangubai is there. Top 10 में Gangubai and Jhund will make it. But in top
Okay.
5, it's not there.
If RRR has not come out this year, I would have said Kadasi Vivasai, the Tamil film.
Okay.
That would have been my Oscar choice, if not RRR.
Hmm. Oh, Janaganamana is an interesting one.
Yeah,
That is
Janagan.
like
Yeah, it's in top
comes
10.
comes very close to Malankunj for
I
me,
think
but
for me, Malayalam film was Janagana Mana, then Mallinkunj comes on top there.
okay, yeah. Actually, we didn't talk about that. Like, you recently watched it, na, on
Yeah.
Prime. So, was it as good as people were hyping it up when it came into theaters for you?
See, I have not seen many survival thriller. It's not my like go to thing. So my what I really liked was that how even if you remove the survival thriller part, it's still a film that I want to watch. You
Hmm.
know, with how they build up in the first half, first like 2/3 of the film is only that, and then last 40 minutes is basically him inside, and that's also marvelous how they pull it off, having seen the behind the scenes. And
Hmm.
it just worked, like the themes, what they were exploring, the bigotry and all of that, just that elevated the film. If it was just him stuck and all, that would have been okay.
Hmm.
Technical wise amazing, but as a story wise, like, it had been okay. But the way they add all these themes and layers to the film,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just one thing I didn't like in the film. Apart from that, it was a great film.
Uh, uh, let's take a few comments in the last 10 minutes.
Oh,
What do you guys
Gargi. How can you
Yeah.
forget
Oh
Gargi?
yes. Oh my God. Love
Gargi,
that
how can I
movie.
forget?
even
That's
even
what, when you sit
Tough,
and
tough
think
fight.
about it, it's like a tough competition because
yeah,
I
and
I
थोड़ी
really
देर
have to
पहले
think.
थोड़ी देर
And
पहले somebody also talked about Avsam Yom. So even that is a very good film
That
actually.
is, yeah, that film, the feel, it's like just totally a separate league of a film.
Mm.
I don't know. It should not be, but in my head, it's a separate thing. It's not.
It's not.
It's
It's incomparable.
yeah. It's a film of its own. Like you don't get a film like that in like a
Mm.
years and all. It's like a separate thing. I'll not compare it with a triple R, or like they cannot lie in the same
So then,
parameter.
if it's like if it's out of their league, then that should be your one word answer for
Not
your
out
favorite
of their
film.
league. Not out of their league. That it's above everything else. It's like they are very separate in my head. Like I cannot see them stand together. Kind of like they're very.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it, but out of
mutually
league as in
exclusive.
not out of league as in he's very big. Out of
Yeah,
league
yeah,
as in
yeah.
two separate
No, no,
leagues, kind of.
of course, I got that. So somebody asked, what about what do you guys think of Vikram with the remake? Is it fair to the original that they should be remaking that as well?
I mean, the
Seriously.
original makers are only doing it, so
So is it
it's
fair to the
they
audience then?
clearly.
Is it fair to the Tamil audience?
Why it has to be
No.
fair and all, man?
That was
Don't
the
Why
watch.
is it
question.
unfair?
Then
I
don't
want to.
watch.
I want to know
Who's
why it's
asking you to
unfair.
watch it?
No, I
That
feel
is such
that
a.
I feel that I feel because of this, if the people did not know about the original, at least at this point, a lot of people, I think most of the people know that this is a remake of the original one, and they will.
Well,
I think this will encourage people to watch the original. I see it in a positive way because I have parked watching the film for so long, but then I read comments said that he don't watch the Hindi dub, which is there on YouTube. It's not good.
Hmm.
So I don't know where the original is streaming now.
I'm
I
not
don't.
fan of the climax of the original, so I just hope they change it. Otherwise, it will be the same film.
Oh,
Somebody said Sherni. It came last year.
Last year, yeah,
I think
it's
you are
last year.
talking about Jalsa. Maybe that was a good film.
Also, this
Um,
Sher Dil came out was really nice. I saw
I have
recently.
to watch it. It's trending on Netflix, but I have not watched it yet.
But, Pankaj Tripathi is at a fine form,
Okay,
and also Neeraj Kavi. They have a scene together which is disgusting but awesome.
I'll watch it tomorrow.
It's just
Today,
amazing.
I watched Delhi Crime season 2.
How
Ah
is it?
man, I'm that person who hasn't seen the show because it just I cannot take it. Same reason I didn't watch Kashmir Files. It's just I know Delhi Crime doesn't have like gruesome in any way. It's just aftermath of that case, but it just not for, I'm not the
No, no,
person who can watch this.
this has nothing to do with Nirbhaya Kand. It is a completely
No,
different
no, season
case.
two I know it's different, but I have to watch season one right before, so
Uh,
I don't have it in me
no,
to
no.
watch.
If you watch it standalone, you can easily go through it. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of strings attached to season one anyway. But I would also say it's not as good or as engaging as season one. This
Hmm.
one, and season one won Emmy, yeah, international Emmy.
Yeah,
So that's a big deal. Mood
I like this
gas.
comment. There's an older comment which I liked. There are
What?
good talent in Bollywood also. It's by Srijit. but not getting good promotion, what they need to stop is copying and following the success movies format. I don't
Yeah,
think they're going to stop.
but yeah,
I
But
personally feel they're not going to stop.
see, that's where it all comes down to, right? Like, people, see, I was somewhere where I could have gotten into in the industry, but just hearing things that you have to go through, I was like, I don't want to get into all that. You know,
It's
it's
too
not easy
messy.
to. It's just too messy. It's just, not an ideal life. We all just see the stardom of it.
mm,
We don't know how these directors have what they have to go through and finally to get a film and finally to be part of something and finally make some. So first they have to make which works for the industry,
Hmm.
then finally they have to do it again and again and prove themselves. Then they can, like, same with Lokesh Kanagraj. He said in an interview that now I have the power that I can take time. I'll say I'll not give a release date. I'll
Hmm.
take my time to make a film. We
Hmm.
don't think these things that we don't see them as people. People who are making films, they're also people like us who have reached there in some way or form, and they have to
Hmm.
go to so much we don't even see. And it's
Right.
just for easy to just say, "Arey, they just make horrible films. They make remakes. They're forced to make remakes because they have to prove. They have to say, we can make." Like, take Karan Malhotra. He did Brothers, which is a remake. He did Agnipath, which is a remake. He
Hmm.
proved himself. Both films really worked well.
Hmm.
Then he does Hamshera, which is original project, and doesn't work.
did Brothers work well? I don't think so.
I think it
It
did.
was okay. It
Personally, I
was
enjoyed the film.
no,
It
it
was
didn't
too
go that
melodramatic and
bad.
all, but yeah, it was
Like
okay.
it has a good like following in terms of audience viewing. But yeah, but that's what. And I think the recent interview with of Bhardwaj Ranga with Anurag Kashyap in the
Yeah.
Galata channel, what he said na that in the South Indian film industry, people are coming from all walks of life, and in Hindi cinema, it's like the trial room people who are running
Yeah,
the business and the gatekeepers. So you don't have stories and original ideas. What they have seen is in that trial room thingy, and that's what they know. And I think that also makes a difference in how you view, like how you envision a story in your head.
mm.
If you can't think past, if you are the frog in the well, then you really will think only about the stories which are limited to that well. You cannot see the ocean.
I think
So I think Bollywood has that problem.
was
They are
he
the
talk
frogs.
was he like talking about? I think he was talking more about the mafia sitting up. The production houses and everything.
I think he named Aditya Chopra.
Karan,
He did.
They
He
basically,
named
yeah,
him.
he basically said that he, like, even if you're getting an outsider, you're telling him how to make the film. You're not letting him make the film the way he wants to.
yeah,
He has
Hmm.
to make a film like how Yash Raj film is made. So that's, even
yeah,
if outsiders are making films, have to follow the rules set up by these people.
yeah.
That's the big
Then though
problem.
the industry will never evolve.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
You need to have people in power who think creatively. That's what you want. And
I
I
just,
think
I
Anurag
just,
Kashyap just said that he doesn't get budget. So his only way he can make films is that he makes it in very low budget. That's
I
it.
But
just,
he still said that getting he's in a better position because getting funding for his film is still okay. Like
Yeah.
he's in a better position. Like
But
people
there are
in
filmmakers who are
Bollywood and
in
all.
jail, people who don't get money to make films.
Yeah,
At least he feels he's way better. At least he's getting to
yeah,
make
that's what
films.
he said.
And in that process, even if he has to make a Dobara, at least he's making a film.
I just hope, man, that there's no stamp of Karan Johar on Brahmastra. Otherwise, that film, just suppose if the first one fails somehow for
Yeah,
any reason,
the
like
rest too.
yeah, what will happen to rest? Nobody will go and watch it because they would have
Yeah.
lost the faith in the franchisee
I,
itself.
I would I would I would say, like, the worst scenario also, it will be way cheaper to make the second one because they have everything in place already. So the only thing they'll have to, like, just the production of the next film, that the cost of and the actors and everything, because they've
Hmm.
already established, they have all the assets ready, everything. Everything is what takes time is the development of the technology and the process of making it. If even if the film just does, like, equal, like they just cross the, what do you say, the threshold of, what do you
Yeah,
call it?
no profit, no loss, basically.
There's a word for it also, but yeah, basically even that, then they can at least try to do second one. And
Uh,
I just hope they do, man. They just,
The
it's like,
movie
it's
has
the
hype. I think
most,
it
like,
has hype.
it's literally what everyone's asking for. We started the stream with originality, right, in Bollywood. It's literally that, inspired from our own culture, you know
Right.
and even if that's not gonna work, then I don't know. it has to be a good film, first of all, irrespective of everything. But
Yeah.
even if that's not, people are gonna accept, then I don't know what.
How much do you think the whole boycott culture works against films? I mean, is it a big enough tool to pull down a film? Like, did it impact Lal Singh Chadda enough, or it can impact maybe a Brahmastra kind of a film enough to incur losses
I personally think it worked.
for Lal
Like,
Singh Chadda, right?
yeah,
Other than
there
that, like
was
in
so much
general,
chatter.
See,
But
I'll
the
yeah.
thing is, for Lal Singh Chadda, not the it was not the movie that they were boycotting. Like, oh, Lal Singh Chadda is a remake, that's why we are boycotting. We don't know what the content is. It's because
oh,
of the
I will
actor.
I will be happy the day we start boycotting for remakes. That will be a good boycott.
It's because of the actor. So, and then actor and both the leads, because then Kareena Kapoor's that old video surfaced and people were just playing it again and again कि आपको नहीं देखनी movie तो मत देखो. And now it has fueled it even more after all these statements are coming in that, oh, we need to unite against and we need to do something about the audience, and all. It comes off as extremely arrogant, when Arjun Kapoor is saying it, putting, maybe, I don't know what is going on in his brain. I don't know that, but what he's saying, people are going to
Did
take it at face value.
did
That,
you
oh, we have to come together, we have to do something about it. हमने बहुत सहन कर लिया है. अरे बाबा, तुम अच्छा मूवी दो तो सब देखने जाएंगे.
see? I'll say one thing. Apart from Lal Singh Chadda, what happened with that is, as she said, the actor was attacked, and it was constantly in the news. It was
Constantly.
constantly being discussed in the news, which doesn't happen with every boycott. So Lal Singh Chadda was a special case
No, but
which impacted in a way because it was constantly in the news and going to general public.
And not just,
Otherwise,
OTT.
what
Yeah.
happens on Twitter is just 1% of the population. No one, it's just a bubble.
This was on
And
mainstream
and
media.
these people who are attacking, trending, they're, I'm telling you, they are not going to go watch movies. They are not those people. So they are not impacting the business of films. But Last Jetta was different because it was played for the whole country on news channels to I don't want to get into that,
plus
but
plus plus everybody had a problem. Like every
and
community had a
the
problem.
content, if it was amazing, it would have worked.
Yeah, the movie was
If the film was
at the end of the
outstanding,
day,
it would have
no,
worked.
the movie didn't work for me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the movie didn't
And
work.
I think to some extent, even Raksha Bandhan also became a victim of the whole boycott culture, right?
And that
Because
is not because of, no, I don't think it was because of Akshay Kumar, it was because of the writer, Kanika Dhillon. People
Again,
were boycotting her.
I don't agree the boycott impacted the film.
I don't know.
it is
I
a
kind
it's
of
a
agree. I
regressive
kind
film.
of agree.
yeah, it's
Like,
a bubble. It's a bubble on Twitter. It was just different for Lal Singh Chadda. And even if the film was amazing, it would have worked. Like,
no,
so
I would say for Raksha Bandhan also, because both were in the same. So people were discussing Lal Singh Chadda as well as Raksha Bandhan together. Lal Singh Chadda was literally in the mainstream media. So a
yeah.
lot of people. It was not just Twitter chatter. It was on, YouTube was covering it. Media houses like NDTV and all Times and everybody was covering it. So obviously that boycott had an impact definitely in the film. I don't know in future if any boycott trend happens, if it's gonna impact or not, then to we'll understand from the box office collection only. But I feel at the end of the day, if the
I'll
movie is good, people will go
I'll wait until a great film doesn't work. Then I'll say, okay, it's really
but nobody
impacted.
will boycott a good film, na?
Ah.
Why
Now
would they
that
boycott a good
that
film?
now
That is also
Liger is horrible. People are saying, see, we told you it's boycotted.
no, but see, again, this whole thing is so full of ambiguity. Like, mood kya hai is saying Lal Singh Chadda acha movie tha. So he thinks it's a good film and it didn't
That's
work.
what.
See,
So
if
this
you
will always be subjective.
if you take the big chunk of film reviews about Lal Singh Chadda, most 90% people said it's an average film.
Average
Some
film.
say it's a horrible film, some say it's a great film. So that percentage, the spectrum tells you it's mostly average, which is people are not, okay, yeah, it's okay, I'm not gonna watch it.
What do you think
Let's
of
wait for
the
OTT.
international reviews that came and they were,
It's working amazing internationally. See,
yeah.
I've not
it's
seen
doing
the
so well.
international reviews.
I not seen any. I don't read reviews, but
I
it's
have not
working
read.
internationally.
I think it made 126 crore.
That's I think global total.
Okay.
China release is still left. It may do 1,000 crores also. Who knows?
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I think we have covered a lot of topics here
I'll also
in this
add
hour.
about Akshay Kumar. I think someone said Vijay Rohit. I'm fed up of Akshay Kumar movies. Don't take him seriously. And I think that's his brand image is getting impacted now. That people
Oh
Yeah,
are
but
tired
man,
too.
to see him again and again
don't
every two
even
months.
ask. A Katputli trailer came and I didn't even know that some film like that has been made, and it's all the trailer is out and it's coming on OTT.
It's again a
So
remake.
It's a remake.
yeah, I mean, then on Diwali that film is coming. Right, Ram Setu is coming,
that
and
that will do well.
people
No
also
one knows.
thought that people also thought Raksha Bandhan might do well, but it didn't. Right, so who knows that even Ram.
Yeah.
Because you can never be sure with Akshay Kumar anymore. I mean, Prithviraj also people thought, okay, this is going to blow up, and that it will just.
And with Katputli coming out on OTT, that's a example of that.
Hmm.
Right.
No, yeah, Mulugu
Soripotu
Nilotpal.
remake.
Somebody commented like 18 movies are being remade right now in Bollywood,
Someone, I
and
think in the beginning of the year,
That's
someone posted
not.
26 remakes are in production right now or
no,
in
Yeah,
no,
this is
in the
a bit
pipeline.
too much.
I
It's a
didn't
bit
even
too
know the
much.
names that these are also being remade. Like Helen was there in that list, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
there
Helen
She's
was
doing
is
now.
Janvi
Janvi
Kapoor.
Kapoor.
the Great Indian Kitchen in the list, and there
That all
was
Janvi Kapoor is doing. Oh no, that is Sanya
No,
Malhotra.
Sanya Malhotra.
But
That's
that's
Sanya.
directed by this Cargo director, Aarti Kadav. Driving license remake.
Yeah.
Ayappanam Kosham remake, and
See,
Ayappanam
the
Kochiyam.
Agrarian Kitchen is a film. I'm like, okay, that's a topic that should be go in every language. The original film has some like of cultural things that's related to Kerala, and in subtitles it's okay to watch. But I'm okay if a remake is made and that travels around the country.
Hmm.
I'll be more happy in that sense. That's
uh,
where remakes are I'm fine with.
I was disappointed that they didn't give it any national award. Also, no, I
I think it
expected
was out of the first league only.
Hmm.
The first round only it was out. I don't know.
driving license. Somebody, yeah. So I just hope
Driving
that
license again is a film which is very culturally thing, and I think it can work well.
and the Hindi title is Selfie.
Yeah.
That is the name of
Selfie, yeah.
there was the title song was shot in Goregaon bus depot near my place. One of my friends was a DOP on that, so he told me, uh, "I am okay saying Bollywood deserved this." बॉलीवुड ने क्या मतलब तुम्हारा उधार वहां पे रखा हुआ है क्या?
See, I think I mentioned in a video also that there is a lot of anger
Hmm.
after Sushant's death,
Hmm.
and
Oh God, that
also see the thing is someone told me that Bollywood will die. If Bollywood dies, then how will you get distracted from the main issue we are facing? Bollywood cannot die. They have every week you'll not have something to talk about and distract from what real issues are happening around us. It cannot die. So if you're thinking it will gonna die, no, I'm sorry.
guys, if
Sorry to tell you.
Bollywood will die, KRK will also die. What will he do after that, guys?
He's
So
doing
please
so well for himself.
let him live. Yeah,
It's making a new film, right? I think announced he's making a new
who
film.
I
cares?
did not know. I did not know.
Also, we are past the 5,000
Array,
subscribers.
yes.
Thank you, guys.
Congrats.
Amazing.
The 10
Congrats.
people who out of these 100 people, 10 people found this conversation interesting enough to press the subscribe button, and also press the like button, guys. It helps with the algorithm, as you all know.
I
And
like this comment
which
from
one?
Mood क्या है just the recent one ना मैसेज देना है तो स्कूल बनाओ मूवी का काम नहीं है I
Yeah,
I I
nahi,
kind of
but
agree. I mean,
films is the biggest medium to send across a
films give
message.
no, but people have to be I mean smart enough to understand that it's a film. It's within that universe. You
I
shouldn't
just don't
get so
understand.
influenced that मैंने movie देखी और मेरा एकदम मैं totally influence हो गया. You have to understand that वो एक फिल्म थी, टेक इंस्पिरेशन एंड डू समथिंग अबाउट इट, बट मैसेज देना, आई
No,
काइंड ऑफ एग्री दैट मैसेज देना उनका काम
but
नहीं है.
but the amount of people a film can impact at once, throughout the country. That way, I think, I would disagree.
I don't know. I kind of agree that it's like, yeah, it need not be too preachy.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
people
See,
can understand when you are when it's an organic dialogue. I think we were talking about this yesterday, Nona, when we were
yeah,
reacting to
yeah.
She-Hulk. That people now understand what is a propaganda dialogue and what is an organic dialogue. It
Hmm.
needs to work within the realm of the film and not preach to the audience.
No, that's
See,
what happened with that film. No, this guy is who made Mulk and everything. Which film came this year? Um,
कौन सी?
uh, अरे,
Anek.
अनेक.
So that got a bit too preachy, right?
No, that they just convoluted the plot. So many. See, it's just they dumped the whole issue of Northeast at once with you. Like you're not gonna, you'll feel lost, and that's a big issue with that one.
No.
Bollywood got unfair recognition so far, so now it is getting the unfair hate as well.
Comment of
I'll just say
the
one
day.
thing.
Ah,
The how high standard we expect from Bollywood and the film and heroes. If only if we had the same expectations from people running our country, we would be a better country today.
that's
you know
true. Yeah. I mean,
how much our youth is invested in cleaning up
yeah.
Bollywood.
Look, if a boycott Lal Singh Chadda can work like that and impact the film and its earnings, just tomorrow boycott some XYZ politician. If that works and it can change, the system.
Amir Khan said something 5 years back, but someone said something horrible 2 days back. No one cares because it goes with their ideology they believe in.
Yeah,
ये
I
तो
think I
That's
I,
why India is such a beautiful country.
I
Anything can
think
happen in our country, literally.
Shrijit says I think one Mallu guy destroyed Bollywood. Priyadarshani started remakes.
Yeah, his own films.
That's Anvesh says tell your opinion on अरे यार वो नीचे चला गया comment. What was it? Can you
Someone
please
said
read?
this is an underrated channel.
I am tired of this term, man.
I think
सब्सक्राइब कर लो उसके चैनल को यार.
People keep saying your music is so underrated, your channel is so you guys are the ones who can actually rate it, but you don't press the subscribe and like. That's how you rate an artist, right?
yeah, super
uh,
chat.
$40. Thank you. I will मैं इसका मंदिर में प्रसाद चढ़ाने वाला हूँ. 5,000 सब्सक्राइबर भी हो गए and thank you Hobbit.
40 दिया है ना, तो 26 आएगा.
But I missed like that comment from Anvesh. If we could see that and then we could close this. Just
Collaboration of all industries. Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, Kannada among cast and crew to do a movie. Tell your opinion on collaboration. It's
I
a good.
hope that they collaborate on the that Mahabharat film which Amir Khan wants to make.
No way.
Is it happening? Is it gonna
That's
happen?
not happening.
He said in the Bhardwaj Rangan interview,
He said
it is.
it's a dream. It's
a
not a
dream.
project.
He said it's in the back of my mind still somewhere. It's still there. So maybe he
I think
will.
he
But
even
उसको हिम्मत
like
नहीं हो रही है करने की.
see.
That's what he said.
I read a report that he wants to make it a 10-season series for Netflix with only newcomers, and he also took 6 writers to US to talk to different showrunners and how what's the process of writing and everything. He did that whole thing. I don't know what happened with that.
Vishnu Prasad is saying Bollywood needs Three Idiots PK kind of movies. No, that's done.
That's done.
Three Idiots
Yeah.
is done. PK is done.
See, this is the mindset.
Yeah,
If it's not working, make what was working.
yeah. I would have been happier if he would have said, "Let's wait for Donkey." What that guy is making
Yeah.
next. Probably because next year is
The
going
amount
to
of
be
boycott that's gonna get.
that, and I mean, I fear for Shah Rukh Khan his 3 movies next year. So all three of Pathan,
Pathan
Jawan, and
already
then
this started.
No, but they've already started with
I
Pathan.
I already saw a post. They're giving distribution, guys. Every day 7 p.m. Let's trend this. Okay, hashtag boycott Bhutan. Every day 6 p.m. You do this. Okay, like
oh
that's
god.
shared in WhatsApp.
And I am so sure nobody is going to boycott Ram Setu. I mean, they wouldn't even make
No,
that
they
hashtag.
did. They are
Oh
people.
no, there are
When
people.
the project was announced, I saw a lot of hate against it.
That is,
Go to
यार
Twitter,
the
you'll see.
thing right ना सब मतलब ऐसे चारों तरफ तुम मतलब घर से निकलो तो हम तुम्हारी फिल्म बॉयकॉट ना कर दे तो तुमने सोची है फिल्म सोची है बॉयकॉट
even I think a huge reason behind this whole boycott thing is that SSR death, of course, and uh, it has already impacted IMDb ratings. I mean, even a good film will have such bad
Oh,
ratings.
I don't
And
I never
trust IMDb
watched
ratings at
anything.
all.
I used to, but after that whole incident, I stopped because Dil Bechara got like 9 or 10 at a point initially, and
Hmm.
I was like, this is out of sympathy. Like this
You know
more than
how much I felt bad when Sushant's passing, and how much I felt watching that film. It was not a great film, and
yeah.
I said it in my review
It's
also.
not a
Yeah,
good
even
film.
I said
Yeah,
that it was
yeah,
same. I also.
कितने लोगों ने उसके बाद उसके कंधे पे रख के जो बंदूक चलाई है and tried to make their careers, and now the karma is biting back. Just look what happened with the this movie, Kangna's movie. What was it? I forgot.
Dhakad.
Zakar.
Dhakad. I didn't find it
You know
worthy
th-
enough to even review on my channel.
that's when that came out and bombed, right? That made me realize that it's all a bubble.
It is.
Whatever she does on Twitter and say all these statements, that's not going to translate anything.
Yeah, well, it was not not a great movie also. Like if that's what in the end, if the movie is good, I feel that people will invest
Yeah,
back.
I mean, make all the fun you want of Lal Singh Chadda not making enough money, or I saw somebody in a Twitter war with Tapsi also listing her last few films and not making any money. But at the end of the day, the disgust that Dhakad got, 4,000 bucks in a day across India, that's like a new all-time low. What can be worse than that? The 40 bucks I got, that's the only thing that's lesser than that. People are asking me to make more content because they've been watching Nona Prince for last 24 hours. So they are,
Nona is very active.
Everywhere. I think it started from She-Hulk, then one video, then 3 videos in the day, then one live stream, and now this live stream.
yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for taking out time, and I'm glad that people enjoyed. 129 people are still watching. That's it shows probably we picked the right topic, and maybe our conversations were engaging and insightful enough for them. Thank you guys for watching. Please comment. Le lo,
अरे
Anurag.
अनुराग का comment ले लो यार.
South
Comment.
Indian actors try to speak in Hindi while promoting in Hindi, but Hindi actors speak in English to reach Hindi audience. That's the irony. क्या कहेंगे आप दोनों इस
I,
पे?
this debate only goes somewhere else, but
ये वाला
Comment
डिबेट
करें.
what to
हमेशा ही
say?
रहेगा. मेरे चैनल में मेरे को बोलते हैं आपको शर्म आती है क्या हिंदी बोलने में? अरे नहीं भाई, नहीं आती है शर्म. मेरे को जिस लैंग्वेज में बोलना है मुझे बोलने दो.
मुझे भी बोलते हैं कि मैं तो बोलता हूँ, मैं सीधा बोलता हूँ भाई, मैं तो ज्यादातर मलयालम फिल्में ही करता हूँ रिव्यू अपने चैनल पे, साउथ की फिल्में करता हूँ, एंड पीपल आर मोर कंफर्टेबल विद इंग्लिश देयर. एंड मेरा ज्यादातर रेवेन्यू जो सीपीएम बनता है बाहर यूएस वगैरह से बनता है, तो
You
मैं तो
still reply to those comments. I तो like
आई
why
डोंट
are you
लाइक
even
ऐसा
entertaining?
लिखता नहीं हूँ मैं ऐसे कभी लाइव में, जैसे अभी मैंने बोल दिया. दैट्स द ओनली वे आई एड्रेस इट समटाइम्स. अदरवाइज हु हैज द टाइम टू.
You get it, Nona? You get those comments?
अरे पूछो मत. Recently I think got अबे हिंदी नहीं आता क्या? अंग्रेजी के बटर पकड़ा है. Every day one comment.
But let's Anurag का जो question है कि South Indian actors they try to speak in Hindi while promoting in the Hindi belt. Like specifically they change the language.
He just answered his own question.
Yeah.
They are promoting in Hindi belt. If you say in English, they'll not understand.
Yeah.
That's a basic understanding, right?
नहीं, but
अब
उससे
मतलब
बोला
you
ना कि हिंदी एक्टर स्पीक इन इंग्लिश, वही वो
now
बोल
Hindi
रहा
actor, if they're putting out, they need to learn 6 7 languages now. What is this expectation from them?
Adrian Luna says, I don't understand why on Twitter people boycotting Bollywood and mixing it with religion. Surprised people are still living in centuries back. इस पे क्या ही बोले बंदा, इस पे बोलते बोलते या तो थक जाएगा
है।
या
पूरा
फिर
स्ट्रीम चलता ही रहेगा।
You know, I've literally got comments under me that, you know, why are they boycotting? What's this happening? I'm like, you are so happy. Don't get to know why. Just stay in
yes,
your zone.
never install Twitter in your phone. You will stay happier and healthier like that.
Seriously.
मूड क्या बोल रहा है? लास्ट क्वेश्चन, बेटर कॉल सॉल देखा गया भैया? मैंने तो देखा है, लेकिन मैं
किसने
इतनी
देखा है?
इतनी कोशिशों के बाद भी मैंने इतना ढूंढा कि भाई इंडिया में किसी यूट्यूबर ने देखा हो तो मैं कोलैबोरेट करके किसी के साथ करूं. I didn't find anybody. I asked you both as well. I asked my other collaborators. Nobody has seen it. Even the die-hard fans of Breaking Bad have not seen it. And it's a spin-off series of Breaking Bad. I was so surprised. And
You should.
आई न्यू कि मैं अकेले अगर इसको करूंगा अपने चैनल पे, घंटा कोई देखेगा आके. बॉलीवुड का नहीं देखते रिव्यू तो बेटर कॉल सॉल तो क्या ही देखेंगे.
See, that's a big reason what's happening nowadays and why Disney is doing really good job at a weekly thing, because it's all about the hype. अगर हाइप है किसी, सब बातें कर रहे हैं उसकी, तो भाई देखना है,
बट हाइप
चाहे
है.
कितने भी सीजन हो.
अरे हाइप थी उसकी
इंडिया
यार.
में नहीं है ना, इंडिया में नहीं है ना.
इंडिया में थोड़ा नीश है
इंडिया
उसका.
में
दैट
गेम
आई
ऑफ थ्रोन्स
अंडरस्टैंड.
की इतनी हाइट नहीं होती, तो बेटर कॉल
आई नो.
सॉल तो दूर
आई
की
मीन
बात हो गई.
दैट्स ट्रू, बट इंडिया में ब्रेकिंग बैड की तो हाइप है ना.
बट ये 6 सीजन था यार.
दैट्स ट्रू.
As you said, right, there's no Indian YouTuber talking about it.
आई एम
That's the
सरप्राइज्ड.
whole
तो
point. That's the
मैंने
whole
तो
point.
कोई वीडियो नहीं देखा एटलीस्ट.
I
हाँ,
am surprised, yeah. I used to, like, when you love a show so much, right? Just after watching the show, you watch other people's analysis and reviews, right? I used to do that with American channels. Like, मैं देखने के बाद, if I want to engage in a conversation about that, I have to log into those people's channels. I don't have an Indian speaking about that. Maybe, with the Indian audience, maybe even in Hindi. Like, एक वीडियो मेरे को 2-4 साल पुराना मिला जो बेटर कॉल सॉल को हिंदी में समझाने की कोशिश कर रहा था. So वो लाइगर इज गोइंग टू बी हिट इन हिंदी बेल्ट. नोना प्रिंस ये आ गया आपके लिए.
अरे क्वेश्चन है कि ये बता रहा है. You are telling me or asking me? मैं वही लिखने वाला था. I was going in the chat for that.
Srijit is saying ad tried and refused production. I don't think even he did Better Call Saul on his channel. Prime example of content matters that a Malayalam actor and a Malayalam actor and a Hindi actress, Sita Raman, became blockbuster in Telugu states. Guys, have you
Sita
seen that
Raman was a
film?
good
I have
film.
not seen that film.
I've seen.
Yeah. अरे
I loved it.
chat, tell me, should I watch the Hindi one? It's releasing again in September. Should I watch the Hindi dub or should I wait for the OTT?
Yes, please
And
tell
the
me as
original.
well. I have a huge crush on Mrunal Thakur. I want to watch it as well. Like Anurag Kashyap said, people who boycott movies are not regular movie goers, so there's little to no impact on movies.
Yeah, people like us whose job is this. Will we do boycott? अब लाइगर मैं जाने वाला था लाइगर, लेकिन नो हिंदी शो एंड तेलुगु हैज नो सबs. नेक्स्ट डे ओनली हिंदी शो स्टार्ट. उससे पहले रिव्यूज आ गए सब, दे आर बॉम्बिंग. सो आई एम लाइक, क्यों वेस्ट करूं मैं? नहीं गया.
मैंने तो I made a wiser decision. I just watched Delhi Crime 2 instead of Liger, and मैंने अपने कम्युनिटी पे भी वही डाला कि भैया तुम भी वही देखो, सब छोड़ दो.
I'm watching this Sandman on Netflix every night.
Okay.
Really up my alley.
I didn't
Really
even
up
go
my
for
alley.
शमशेरा. Like, मेरे को अभी वो अंदर से गट फीलिंग जब आती है ना कि ये नहीं देखनी. प्लस ऊपर से मैंने कहीं पे ट्विटर पे उसका एक वो देख लिया था कमेंट, मोर शैम नो शेरा. So I was turned off by that.
Nice headline.
uh,
You didn't get my point, Anurag. Let us know your thoughts again.
ये उसी की बात कर रहा है, that
या हिंदी वाले की बात है.
I think I got his point. He's saying that,
okay, I got it. I think he
वो
mentioned.
बोल रहा है कि
got
जब
it.
हिंदी फिल्म एक्टर्स हिंदी बेल्ट में प्रमोट करते तो इंग्लिश में क्यों बात करते? They don't talk English. That's what
I'll say one thing. How many? अभी देख लो कितनी इंग्लिश बोलते हैं, कितनी हिंदी बोल रहे हैं हम लोग.
Mix it up, na.
When we, first of all, people to understand, Bollywood is full of people from society only. If we are, we today I talk to English mostly with people. That's what they'll do, right? How can they be different?
नो सी उसके पीछे भी दो तीन चीजें हैं. एक तो इन व्हाट लैंग्वेज यू थिंक दैट इम्पैक्ट्स योर communication as well. Plus, secondly, I feel one of the reasons why all three of us are also speaking more in English maybe is because most of our audiences are from South India, right? At least मेरे और नोना के channel पे शायद है. Maybe on Ashmita it's more evenly distributed. I don't know. But since we cater more to people who are more comfortable with English and who are not as well versed with Hindi, that's why we prefer at times to use English, because then it covers everybody, and not just in India but across the world also. It's easier. That's
Hmm.
that's that's the reason, probably. Maybe hopefully it answers this question. Last comment, and then we'll take this down. Also, I strongly believe good cinema will bring audience to theaters irrespective of any boycott movement. Yes, maybe Brahmastra will become a hit. The songs are really good. Guys,
Correct.
there have been so many examples where music was such a huge hit and then the movie tanked. So you can never be sure, or you can assume based on how the music does before the release of the film. So it's always like a hit and miss kind of a thing. And Preetham has been doing good work for years now. So this was kind of an expected thing, that a Ranbir Kapoor film, which always has good music, Preetham doing it and Ayan Mukherjee. So music was always going to be good for this film. But this film being something new, being tried out in India for the first time, it's always going to be hit and trial. So let's see. Anyway, I'll not take much of your time after this. We thought we'll be ending this before 11 o'clock, but it's 11:20, and thank you, Nona. Thank you, Ashmita, for taking out time, and hopefully the replay
Thanks
viewers
for
will
having
not
us.
get the replay viewers hopefully will not get bored, because this is such a long stream now. I'll probably in coming days, like I've got content for the next 2 weeks. मैं सब बीच बीच में से clips काट काट के अभी लगाऊंगा because I just don't get time to do it daily. But yeah, this was fun, and hopefully our next quarterly meeting will happen sometime by the end of the year when we'll be reviewing. Uh, uh, or I could actually ask people to vote if they want us to do this like once a month or
Hit
once
that like button.
something like that.
How many
Yeah.
likes are there? 81 likes. If there are 250 likes, we'll do again.
We'll do again when? We'll do again is for
हाँ तो
sure, but
वो जब हो जाएंगे तब. If it happens tomorrow, we'll do tomorrow. 250 likes.
okay.
No, no. Saturday, Sunday, I don't know. Please.
अरे
Yes. Oh yes. That is
I have a
very.
rule.
ये संडे को तो मैं भी कुछ नहीं करने वाला. इंडिया वर्सेस पाकिस्तान यार, एशिया कप.
अरे.
Yeah, that's very
I was planning
important for me.
something. Okay, I'm also then not doing anything then.
I just react. अश्मिता, आपके लिए कमेंट है, आप इसको जवाब दे दें प्लीज. आपको ये रिएक्ट करने का आइडिया कैसे आया, या फिर रिव्यू बेस्ड चैनल ही सिर्फ बनाना था क्योंकि आइडिया अच्छा है?
She will answer that in another video. Go subscribe to her channel, new channel.
I've
New
already
channel.
answered this in my Q&As, so
Yes,
you can
please
the Q&A
find that
video.
video on her channel. And she has made a new channel also, I Just Overreact to Music, where I hope to frequently collaborate with her, because, okay, 108 people, I am not a full-time movie critic like these guys. I am a musician full-time. I make music for a living, and you can find the link to my music channel as well somewhere on my channel in About section, where I put an original song every month. Every month there's an original song coming. So indie, if you are an indie music supporter and lover, please check it out. Final goodbyes now, guys. ये comment तो रुक ही नहीं रहे हैं.
Yeah.
RZC तो बोल रहे once a week would be better. यार अभी इनको मैं कहाँ से इकट्ठा करूँ? मैं
यार हो नहीं पाता है once a
इतने
week.
मुश्किल से मैंने उनको 4 महीने बाद आज साथ में लेके आया हूँ, तो it's very difficult. But you guys keep doing. You both do the reactions, no? Very frequently.
We do.
There's a channel called Indian Geek Society. We do all Marvel DC content there.
Yeah.
Then we also have a new channel called Nona Prince Reacts, where we do movie reactions sometimes together. So yeah.
Okay, guys. So I'll put the links to all the channels in the description. You can find it there, and hopefully,
मैं एक और चीज़
yeah,
बोलने वाला था कि समटाइम्स कभी कोई चीज़ छोट कम होती है ना, ज़्यादा अच्छा लगता है।
that's true.
साल में 4 बार आते हैं तो ज़्यादा देखो लोग एक्साइटेड हैं, हर हफ्ते आएँगे, लोग चले जाएँगे, 10-10,
पकड़
20-20 लोग देखेंगे, अरे आते रहते हैं यार ये तो रोज़ ही।
साल में मुझे लगता है साल में 12 बार आ जाएंगे तो चलेगा, आई थिंक लोगों को ऐसा एक
या
मंथली अफेयर करना चाहिए. Ashmita looks pretty. That's the final comment of the day
ओके,
now.
आई एम नॉट कमिंग अगेन, नो वन कॉल्ड मी प्रिटी आल्सो, बाय, आई एम गोइंग।
Nona is handsome.
Okay, guys, thank you. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not so far, and we'll see you very soon, hopefully sooner than